Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Phyllis's AI software score a dud, Kane's setup ally? The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, is pretty pleased with herself. Want more of The Young and the Restless? Get updates on the latest news about The Young and the Restless, straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. What is this? The technological whiz managed to steal Kane Ashby's, Billy Flynn, dangerous AI software right from under her boss's nose. But did she really steal the program, or is this a setup? What kind of mess has Phyllis gotten herself into this time around? Kane Ashby's nobody's fool. The Young and the Restless spoilers remind fans that Phyllis was quick on her feet when confronted by Kane about stealing his program during the October 23 episode. She lied her pants off to try and convince him it was someone else. In fact, she pointed out that Victor Newman, Eric Braden, was likely behind the whole thing, as he was foaming at the mouth for the software. Still, while Kane pretended to believe her during the Friday, October 24 episode, as he left her hotel suite, he made a call to someone, asking to follow Phyllis's every move. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Phyllis quickly reached out to Victor after Kane left, and during the week of October 27, it looks like she'll offer it to the mustache. Bait and switch. Sure, it's very plausible that Phyllis stole Kane's AI software. However, what if this was all a setup by Kane? Yet another test for Phyllis, but this time, she fails. What is this? It's not hard to think that Phyllis will strike up a deal with Victor to sell him the AI software, only for the program to disappear into thin air, or right on the cusp of the trade-off, for Victor to realize it's a fake. Phyllis will be shocked, as she truly believes the software is legit, and drama will not only ensue between her and the mustache, but her and Kane, as well. What will the aftermath look like between Phyllis and Kane, as the show also seems to be hinting at romance between them? Could Phyllis attempt to sell the AI software to Victor, only to have a change of heart? Could that change Kane's perspective on Red? Has Phyllis really stolen Kane's AI software, or is this all a setup on Aristotle Dumas's part? Comment below. Tune into the CBS soap Daily and The Young and the Restless spoilers. Phyllis's AI software score a dud, Kane's setup ally? In the ever-turbulent world of Genoa City, where ambition, betrayal, and redemption often collide, Phyllis Summers is once again finding herself on the razor's edge of disaster. After months of carefully constructing her AI software project, one that she believed would redefine business strategy and secure her redemption in the tech world, things are crumbling fast. The software that was meant to be her golden ticket is being labeled a dud, and the fallout could destroy not only her company but her already fragile reputation. As the whispers grow louder, please subscribe and like the video before continuing. About a potential sabotage, one name keeps surfacing: Kane Ashby. But could Kane, of all people, be the unlikely ally Phyllis never knew she needed? Or is this just another Genoa City setup waiting to explode? Phyllis has always thrived under pressure. The red-headed firebrand is no stranger to controversy. She's been the queen of reinvention and survival for decades. From her past affairs and business rivalries to her countless comebacks, she's learned how to play dirty when necessary. But this time, the stakes feel different. Her AI software was more than a business venture, it was personal. After being pushed out of the Grand Phoenix and watching her relationships deteriorate one by one, Phyllis needed this win. She wanted to prove that she wasn't just a schemer or a manipulator, but a visionary who could still outsmart her rivals in an evolving digital age. Yet as the launch turned into chaos and the press began mocking the system's malfunctions, Phyllis couldn't shake the feeling that someone was working behind the scenes to ensure her failure. It started small: unusual code errors, strange security breaches, and data that didn't add up. Phyllis brushed them off initially, thinking her developers were just overwhelmed. But when the system started outputting incorrect analytics and publicly embarrassing her company with false predictions, she realized something was seriously wrong. The software that was supposed to make her look like a genius now made her look like a fraud. The investors were furious, the media was relentless, and her enemies, especially people like Billy Abbott and Victor Newman, were quietly enjoying her humiliation. But if Phyllis has learned anything, it's that humiliation doesn't last forever in Genoa City. Revenge always finds a way back. While others were quick to write her off, Phyllis began to dig deeper. Her instincts told her this wasn't a technical failure, it was sabotage. And when Cain Ashby unexpectedly reappeared in town, she couldn't ignore the timing. Cain has a complicated history with Genoa City, one filled with deception, lost opportunities, and attempts to rebuild. Recently, he's been keeping a low profile, focusing on rebuilding his life after scandals that nearly destroyed him. But now, his sudden re-emergence has tongues wagging. Why is he back now, just as Phyllis's empire is falling apart? Rumors are swirling that Cain may have inside knowledge of what's really going on with Phyllis's software. Some say he's been quietly working with a rival company that wanted to acquire Phyllis's program before the launch, only to be turned down by her. Others believe Cain is actually stepping in to help Phyllis uncover who's behind the sabotage. Their history isn't exactly romantic, but they share a certain chemistry, two flawed individuals who understand the art of survival better than most. Cain has always been drawn to people who operate in the gray area, and Phyllis certainly fits that bill. But is he playing both sides? The intrigue doesn't stop there. Sharon Rosales, who has recently been exploring new tech ventures herself, may find herself inadvertently tangled in Phyllis's drama. Sharon's mental health app has drawn attention from similar investors who targeted Phyllis, and it's possible that the same sabotage group could be after her as well. If Sharon and Phyllis, two longtime rivals, realize they're facing a shared enemy, a shocking alliance could form. Imagine the two women, who have clashed over men, business, and pride, suddenly working side by side to expose a corporate conspiracy that reaches far beyond Genoa City. Meanwhile, Billy Abbott, who's been keeping tabs on the business world after leaving Chancellor Winters, might find himself caught in the crossfire. Billy has a soft spot for Phyllis despite their rocky history. He knows how brilliant she can be, even when she self-destructs. If he senses Cain is manipulating her, he may step in to protect her. But his involvement could reignite old sparks, and jealousy from Chelsea Lawson, who has been struggling with her own insecurities. Chelsea might see Billy's concern for Phyllis as a threat, especially as she's been trying to rebuild her emotional stability. The more Phyllis digs, the more she'll uncover shocking truths about her so-called business partners. One of them may be secretly feeding her competitors information in exchange for a payout. And when Phyllis finally confronts this traitor, expect fireworks. She's done being the victim. If Cain is truly on her side, this could be the beginning of a power partnership that shakes up Genoa City's balance of power. But if he betrays her, Phyllis will make sure he regrets it, publicly and permanently. The emotional core of this storyline lies in Phyllis's struggle to redefine herself. After years of manipulations, schemes, and second chances, she's trying to build something real. But Genoa City doesn't let people like Phyllis move on easily. Her brilliance is often her downfall, she can't help but outthink everyone around her, and sometimes, that's what isolates her. The AI project symbolized her belief that she could harness technology to fix the chaos in her life. Instead, it's become another lesson in how trust, ambition, and betrayal are inseparable. There's also speculation that this storyline could set the stage for a major character return. Some fans believe Daniel Romalotti Jr. might step back into the picture, offering emotional support for his mother as she faces humiliation once again. Daniel knows better than anyone how much Phyllis struggles with feeling powerless, and his involvement could ground the story emotionally. On the flip side, if Cain's motives are pure, this could spark a surprising romantic connection between him and Phyllis, something neither saw coming but both desperately need. As the weeks unfold, the mystery surrounding the AI failure will deepen. Expect scenes of tense confrontation, coded messages, and shocking confessions. Phyllis will likely trace the sabotage back to someone close, perhaps even a former developer she trusted implicitly. When she learns that her failure was engineered to destroy her, the fury we know so well will return full force. And when Phyllis Summers decides to strike back, no one in Genoa City is safe. Ultimately, The Young and the Restless is setting the stage for a classic Phyllis comeback. Whether she teams up with Kane or exposes him as a traitor, this storyline promises all the elements that make her one of daytime's most fascinating characters: intelligence, passion, and the refusal to stay down. The dud AI software might just be the spark that ignites her next big chapter. Phyllis Summers isn't going down quietly. She's about to remind everyone that you can break her, humiliate her, and underestimate her, but you can never count her out. If Kane truly becomes her ally, Genoa City's elite better brace themselves. A Phyllis-Kane partnership could merge cunning with charm, turning them into one of the most dangerous power duos the show has seen in years. But if Kane's playing her, the fallout will be explosive. Either way, the coming weeks are going to redefine alliances, ignite rivalries, and prove once again that in the world of The Young and the Restless, nothing, and no one, is ever as they seem. Face screaming in fear, Phyllis's AI dream turns into a nightmare. Kane's secret move could destroy everything. Phyllis Summers' dream project was supposed to be her grand redemption, a technological triumph that would silence her critics and put her back on top of Genoa City's business world. Her revolutionary AI software, a program she believed could predict consumer trends, detect fraud, and transform corporate decision-making, was poised to be the talk of the industry. Investors buzzed, the media hyped her innovation, and for a brief moment, it seemed like Phyllis was finally getting her moment of glory. But as everyone knows, in Genoa City, dreams have a way of turning into nightmares, and this time, Phyllis's worst fears are becoming reality. What started as her biggest win may end up being her most devastating downfall. And lurking in the shadows is Kane Ashby, whose secret move could destroy everything Phyllis has worked so hard to rebuild. The unveiling of Phyllis's AI software began with dazzling fanfare. Her presentation at the Genoa City Tech Expo was designed to impress, complete with sleek visuals, confident speeches, and bold promises about revolutionizing business. But within minutes of the demo going live, the "please subscribe and like the video before continuing" system began to malfunction. Data projections scrambled across the screen, private files leaked mid-presentation, and what should have been a moment of triumph turned into public humiliation. Phyllis's face drained of color as murmurs spread through the crowd. What went wrong? Was it a glitch, or something far more sinister? Phyllis's enemies didn't waste time piling on the criticism. Victor Newman smirked from afar, muttering that he'd seen this coming. Jack Abbott offered sympathy but couldn't hide his disappointment. Billy Abbott made a few biting jokes behind closed doors, and even Sharon Rosales, who's been developing her own wellness app, couldn't help but wonder whether Phyllis had overreached. But the humiliation wasn't the worst part, it was the immediate fallout. Investors pulled out overnight, the tech press declared her project a spectacular failure, and social media went wild with memes mocking her. For Phyllis, it wasn't just a financial blow, it was personal. Determined to get to the bottom of the disaster, Phyllis began combing through her system logs and internal communications. That's when she started noticing anomalies, data that didn't belong, access attempts from unknown sources, and encrypted messages buried deep in the code. Someone had tampered with her software. But who had that kind of access? And why target her now? Phyllis had burned plenty of bridges in the past, but this felt different. This was strategic, calculated, and devastatingly precise. That's when Kane Ashby's name surfaced. Kane had been flying under the radar for months, quietly working on new business ventures and keeping a low profile after the scandals that nearly destroyed his reputation. But suddenly, he appeared back in Genoa City, full of charm, composure, and mysterious confidence. At first, it seemed like coincidence, until Phyllis discovered that Kane had recently met with one of her top programmers, a man who had mysteriously quit 2 days before the AI demo went haywire. The dots began connecting in her mind. Was Kane involved in sabotaging her software? Or was he investigating something even bigger? Rumors began swirling that Kane had his own tech ambitions, and that he'd been negotiating with investors who wanted Phyllis's technology before the launch. When she refused to sell, those same investors might have turned to Kane to find another way in. If he'd played a part in orchestrating her downfall, it would be one of the most cold-blooded moves in Genoa City's corporate history. But Kane's motivations have always been layered, sometimes noble, sometimes self-serving, often both. Could he really be the villain in Phyllis's latest tragedy, or was he the only one capable of helping her uncover the truth? Kane and Phyllis have always shared a strange energy, part attraction, part suspicion. Both are survivors, capable of cunning manipulation and charming deceit. They understand the cost of ambition and the loneliness that comes with trying to outsmart the world. When Phyllis confronted him about the sabotage, Kane didn't deny knowing about the software, but his words left her shaken. He told her she'd built something powerful enough to scare people who run empires, warning that she wasn't just facing a rival, she was up against an entire network of investors who'd been watching her from day one. His calm demeanor and cryptic remarks only made her more suspicious. Was Kane trying to warn her, or manipulate her into trusting him? As Phyllis dug deeper, she discovered something even more chilling. The same IP address that hacked her system was also linked to an offshore account connected to a shell. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Corporation, one that Kane had quietly invested in months ago. Confronted with this evidence, Kane admitted he'd made certain deals to keep dangerous investors at bay. He insisted that he was trying to protect her, not destroy her. According to him, her AI project had attracted interest from powerful figures who wanted control over predictive technology for their own agendas, corporate espionage, insider trading, and even government-level manipulation. But could Phyllis believe him? After all, Kane has a long history of half-truths and carefully chosen words. Meanwhile, the scandal surrounding Phyllis's AI disaster began to ripple through Genoa City. Chloe Mitchell and Chelsea Lawson gossiped about how karma finally caught up with Phyllis, while Nick Newman, ever the conflicted ex, couldn't help but worry about her well-being despite everything. Daniel Romolotti Jr., her son, rushed to her side, urging her not to spiral into vengeance again. But when he found out Kane was involved, Daniel became furious. He warned his mother to stay away from Kane, claiming he was using her for his own gain. Phyllis, however, wasn't ready to walk away. Something about Kane's demeanor, his calmness, his quiet guilt, suggested he was hiding something that could change everything. Late one night, Phyllis broke into one of Kane's encrypted databases, uncovering a trail of communications between Kane and an anonymous investor referred to only as R. The messages hinted that R wanted Phyllis's AI system not for business innovation, but for surveillance purposes. The idea was to use the software to track user behavior on a massive scale, something far beyond Phyllis's ethical limits. When she realized Kane had known about this all along, her trust shattered. The heartbreak and rage ignited something inside her, a familiar fire she'd tried to suppress. Phyllis confronted Kane in his suite at the Grand Phoenix, her voice trembling with fury. "You played me," she hissed. Kane didn't deny it, at least, not entirely. He admitted that he'd been approached to gain her trust and deliver her code but claimed he never went through with it. According to him, the investors double-crossed them both, triggering the sabotage once they realized Kane was no longer cooperating. The line between truth and manipulation blurred. Kane's remorse seemed genuine, but Phyllis had been fooled before. Could this be another expertly crafted lie? Still, part of Phyllis couldn't shake the feeling that Kane was telling the truth. The evidence of external interference was too strong to ignore, and Kane's contacts in the international business world gave his story credibility. Reluctantly, Phyllis agreed to a temporary truce. The two began working together in secret to track the hacker's identity and trace the financial trail leading back to Y&R. As they delved deeper, their alliance grew complicated. Old wounds, buried emotions, and dangerous chemistry began to bubble to the surface. Cain admired Phyllis's intelligence and tenacity, while Phyllis found herself drawn to his unexpected vulnerability. In Genoa City, such partnerships are rarely purely professional, and this one was no exception. But just when it seemed like Phyllis and Cain were on the verge of uncovering the full conspiracy, a shocking twist emerged. Someone within Phyllis's own company had been feeding information to the rival investors. Her trusted assistant, the person who'd been by her side since the project's inception, turned out to be a mole. The betrayal hit hard. It wasn't just about the software anymore, it was about trust, loyalty, and survival. And when Phyllis finally cornered her betrayer, the truth came out: Cain had been right. The sabotage had been orchestrated by a global tech syndicate looking to weaponize AI. With the truth finally in her hands, Phyllis made her move. She leaked just enough information to the press to regain public sympathy, positioning herself as a victim of corporate espionage rather than an incompetent developer. Her AI dream may have turned into a nightmare, but from the ashes of destruction comes reinvention. Phyllis is down, but she's not out. And if Cain Ashby thinks he can control the outcome, he's about to learn the hard way that Phyllis Summers always has one final move. Fire Y&R shock twist: Phyllis's AI flops. Was Cain Ashby behind her downfall all along? Genoa City is in turmoil once again, and this time the storm centers on none other than Phyllis Summers. The woman who has survived scandal, heartbreak, and betrayal time and again is facing perhaps her most public humiliation yet: the spectacular flop of her long-anticipated AI software. Meant to cement her reputation as a forward-thinking tech mogul, the project instead crashed and burned during its launch, leaving Phyllis scrambling to explain why her revolutionary system failed in front of investors, press, and her rivals. But as the dust settles, a question that has shocked fans is swirling louder than ever: was Cain Ashby behind her downfall all along? The hype surrounding Phyllis's AI was immense. Months of secrecy, late nights, and relentless drive had built anticipation across Genoa City. Investors were eager, business partners excited, and Phyllis herself was glowing with the confidence that comes from finally having something she could call entirely her own. For years, she had been known as the schemer, the social climber, the woman always fighting to stay relevant. But this AI project represented a new chapter, a chance to prove her intellect and innovation, to demonstrate that she wasn't just a survivor but a visionary. The launch event was grand, showcasing futuristic presentations, bold statistics, and promises of unparalleled predictive capabilities. The unveiling, however, went catastrophically wrong. The system faltered almost immediately, spewing inaccurate analytics, crashing multiple times, and ultimately displaying sensitive internal data for all attendees to see. Shocked gasps filled the room, and social media exploded with memes mocking the AI disaster. Investors panicked, pulling out their funding. Tech reporters framed Phyllis as overambitious and out of her depth. Even her closest allies struggled to offer comfort, leaving Phyllis isolated in the midst of an unimaginable crisis. The launch that was supposed to make her career soar instead ended in public embarrassment. As Phyllis sifted through the wreckage of her company, she realized something didn't add up. System errors that should have been minor coding bugs appeared intentional. Data streams were manipulated in ways that suggested insider tampering. And troublingly, encrypted messages and logins from unknown users hinted that someone close to her had orchestrated the failure. Her first instinct was to confront her own team, but nothing seemed to match the scale of the sabotage. That's when Cain Ashby's name quietly entered the conversation. Cain's re-emergence in Genoa City couldn't have been more suspicious. After months of keeping a low profile and staying out of major business affairs, he suddenly appeared, offering advice to Phyllis and showing interest in the tech industry. At first glance, his involvement seemed innocent, perhaps even helpful. Kane has always had a reputation for being strategic and savvy, and some suggested he might be trying to genuinely assist Phyllis in navigating the mess. Yet, whispers began circulating that Kane had his own agenda. Could he have had a hand in the sabotage that destroyed Phyllis's AI launch? The possibilities are chilling. Kane has long been a man of connections and influence, someone who knows how to operate behind the scenes without drawing attention. Rumors indicate that he may have been approached by investors with interest in Phyllis's AI technology, figures who might have wanted to acquire her project but were turned down. If Kane had agreed to help them gain access, even subtly, it could explain the precise way the software failed. The thought that someone Phyllis trusted could have orchestrated her professional undoing adds an entirely new layer of betrayal to the already dramatic scenario. Yet Kane's motivations remain murky. In private meetings, he hinted that the AI was too powerful to fall into the wrong hands, and that there were forces at play far bigger than Phyllis. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Realized. Some interpret this as an admission that he was complicit but acting under duress, while others believe he might be constructing a cover story to hide his true role in the collapse. Kane's history with Phyllis is complex. Their shared experiences of deception, loyalty, and occasional attraction create a tangled web of emotion and mistrust. Whether his intentions are protective or manipulative is anyone's guess. Meanwhile, Phyllis is forced to navigate a minefield of personal and professional turmoil. Investors are withdrawing, former colleagues are gloating, and the media coverage is merciless. Her rivals, including Billy Abbott and Victoria Newman, watch with amusement as the once formidable Phyllis Summers struggles to regain her footing. Even Daniel Romalotti Jr., her son, voices concern over Kane's involvement, warning his mother to be cautious of the man who once played so many games in Genoa City. Phyllis, however, isn't ready to step back. Her resilience and cunning have been her trademarks, and she is determined to uncover the truth, whatever it takes. Investigations into the sabotage reveal layers of deception. Internal messages hint that someone on Phyllis's team may have been a mole, feeding information to rival investors or acting under external pressure. When cross-referencing access logs, evidence points to coordinated activity that coincides with Kane's recent meetings and communications. If Kane is involved, the subtlety of his methods would explain why the sabotage was so meticulously executed. However, some patterns also suggest Kane may have been attempting to mitigate the damage rather than create it, positioning him as a reluctant player in a much larger corporate conspiracy. The tension between Kane and Phyllis intensifies as she begins piecing together the evidence. Confrontations grow heated, filled with a mix of accusation, desperation, and lingering chemistry. Kane maintains a carefully measured calm, insisting he wants to help her uncover the truth. Phyllis, ever perceptive, questions every word, every gesture, every half-truth. Their conversations are a delicate dance, revealing both the potential for alliance and the danger of betrayal. The stakes are not merely financial, they are deeply personal, testing trust, loyalty, and emotional boundaries. Fan speculation is rampant. Corporate espionage elements hint at a network of scheming investors, shadowy tech competitors, and hidden agendas that threaten to reshape the city's business hierarchy. Phyllis is at the epicenter of a storm that is larger than she ever imagined, and every move she makes is scrutinized by friends and foes alike. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Amid the chaos, Phyllis's resilience shines through. Despite the public humiliation and personal betrayals, she strategizes quietly, gathering evidence, documenting every suspicious action, and preparing to confront those responsible. If Kane truly played a role, she intends to expose him, not just for the sabotage but for the betrayal of trust. If he's innocent, she knows she must tread carefully, leveraging his expertise while maintaining vigilance. Either way, the battle lines are drawn, and Phyllis is refusing to be a passive victim in a game she has played so many times before. This storyline promises to be a turning point in Phyllis's character arc. The AI flop isn't just a business failure, it's a catalyst for self-discovery, reckoning, and retribution. Fans can expect confrontations filled with raw emotion, strategic maneuvering, and unexpected twists that challenge the alliances viewers thought were set in stone. Whether Kane emerges as a true ally or the mastermind behind the sabotage, Phyllis's response will define her next chapter in Genoa City. As the mystery deepens, the audience is left on the edge of their seats. Will Phyllis expose Kane if he's behind her downfall? Can she salvage her AI project and reclaim her reputation? Or is this failure just the beginning of an even more complex corporate and emotional chess game, one that could reshape power dynamics across Genoa City? One thing is certain, in The Young and the Restless, nothing is ever as it seems, and the stakes for Phyllis Summers have never been higher. Phyllis's intelligence, resilience, and unyielding spirit will drive her next moves. Kane's secret actions, whether protective or treacherous, are the linchpin of this drama. The intersection of ambition, betrayal, and strategy promises a storyline that will shock viewers, ignite discussions, and deliver the high-stakes intrigue that has made Y&R a daytime television staple for decades. Phyllis Summers may have stumbled, but her journey is far from over, and the question of Kane Ashby's true intentions remains one of the most compelling mysteries in Genoa City today. Betrayal and backstabbing. Phyllis's AI project crashes, Kane's mysterious ally exposed. Genoa City is buzzing with shock and speculation as one of its most notorious figures, Phyllis Summers, faces perhaps her most public and humiliating professional setback yet. The ambitious AI software project she had been nurturing for months, designed to revolutionize business analytics and position her as a tech visionary, has spectacularly failed. What was supposed to be a crowning achievement for the ever-resilient Phyllis has turned into a cautionary tale of betrayal, sabotage, and corporate intrigue. But the plot thickens. Behind the scenes, Kane Ashby's presence looms large, and the mysterious ally he has been quietly maneuvering may hold the key to the shocking collapse. Fans are left wondering, was Kane really trying to help, or has he been playing a deeper, more dangerous game all along? The AI project represented a new frontier for Phyllis. Known primarily for her tenacity in business and her sometimes scandalous personal life, she sought to redefine herself as a legitimate innovator in the tech world. Months of secretive work went into the development of the software, from sleepless nights coding alongside her team of developers to securing investor interest in the high-stakes world of predictive analytics. The launch event was designed to impress, a state-of-the-art demonstration featuring real-time predictions, interactive dashboards, and bold claims that the software could transform corporate strategy across Genoa City. The anticipation was palpable. Investors were ready to fund a bright future, and Phyllis herself was confident she could finally prove that she was more than a survivor, she was a pioneer. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Yet the launch was anything but smooth. Within minutes, glitches began to appear. Data streams were inaccurate, sensitive information displayed on screens for all attendees, and the AI itself produced erratic results that no one could explain. The room, once filled with excitement, descended into chaos. Investors looked on with disbelief, murmurs of concern grew louder, and the press wasted no time publishing headlines mocking the Phyllis Summers AI disaster. Social media amplified the embarrassment, turning the failed launch into the talk of Genoa City. For Phyllis, the humiliation cut deep. It wasn't just a financial loss, it was a blow to her identity, her credibility, and her dream of being taken seriously in the tech world. In the immediate aftermath, Phyllis scrambled to understand what had gone wrong. Initial assessments suggested more than simple coding errors. The failures were too precise, too targeted to be accidental. Someone had tampered with the software from within, manipulating code and altering data streams in a way that ensured the system would crash at the critical moment. As Phyllis dug deeper, she realized the betrayal ran deeper than she ever imagined. The very people she trusted to help her achieve her dream may have been working against her, feeding information to rivals and creating a perfect storm for her public failure. Enter Kane Ashby. Kane's reappearance in Genoa City had initially seemed coincidental, a man returning to the city after months of laying low, quietly pursuing business interests and keeping his life under wraps. but the timing of his arrival raised eyebrows. Just as Phyllis's AI launch was approaching, Kane resurfaced, meeting privately with members of her development team, consulting with investors, and appearing at the edges of her professional network. At first, his presence was interpreted as supportive, even protective. Kane has a reputation for strategic thinking and resourcefulness, qualities that could be invaluable to someone facing such high-stakes challenges. However, rumors began circulating that Kane's involvement was more complicated. Sources suggest that the mysterious ally Kane had been working with behind closed doors may have orchestrated, or at least facilitated, the sabotage. This figure, whose identity has remained under wraps, is rumored to be deeply connected to an investor syndicate with interests in acquiring Phyllis's technology. When she refused to sell her project, this syndicate may have resorted to extreme measures to ensure the software would fail publicly, damaging her credibility and forcing her hand. Kane's role in this chain of events is ambiguous. Was he complicit, coerced, or secretly working to protect her from further harm? The stakes are deeply personal as well as professional. Phyllis has always been a master of resilience, navigating betrayals, personal scandals, and professional setbacks with a combination of cunning and charm. But the AI disaster strikes at the heart of her ambition. The public nature of the failure, combined with the possibility of insider betrayal, has left her questioning whom she can trust. Her once loyal team may have been compromised, her investors shaken, and the media ready to pounce at the first sign of weakness. And in the middle of it all, Kane remains an enigmatic figure. Phyllis's suspicions are not unfounded. When she began tracing the sabotage, patterns emerged linking Kane to the movements of her software code prior to the launch. Access logs, encrypted messages, and financial transactions suggest that Kane had knowledge of, and possibly influence over, the timing and nature of the system failures. Confronted with these findings, Kane admitted to having been involved in discussions about the AI project with external parties but claimed his intentions were protective, aimed at preventing the technology from falling into the wrong hands. Whether this is truth or manipulation remains unclear. Phyllis, ever perceptive, knows that in Genoa City, appearances can be deceiving, and loyalty is often a matter of convenience rather than principle. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. The drama doesn't stop with Kane. Other players in Genoa City are drawn into the fallout. Billy Abbott, who has a complicated history with Phyllis, watches the debacle with concern and curiosity, torn between wanting to help and resenting the attention she commands even in failure. Chelsea Lawson, Daniel Romolotti Jr., and Sharon Rosales are caught in the periphery, each reacting in ways that could influence the outcome of the unfolding scandal. Their alliances and decisions could either bolster Phyllis's efforts to reclaim her reputation or contribute to further chaos, underscoring the interconnectedness of personal and professional life in Genoa City. As the investigation continues, Phyllis becomes increasingly determined to expose the truth. Her strategy is methodical: gather evidence, identify the mole within her ranks, and confront those responsible. Every meeting, every intercepted message, and every financial trail could be a clue pointing toward the shadowy forces orchestrating her downfall. If Kane is involved, the confrontation could redefine their relationship and reshape the dynamics of power in the city. If he is innocent, his knowledge and connections could be pivotal in helping Phyllis rebuild her career and recover her dignity. Fan speculation is at a fever pitch. Is Kane Ashby the mastermind behind the sabotage, a man manipulating Phyllis to serve his own agenda? Or is he a reluctant participant, coerced by circumstances and working to protect her from a greater threat? The ambiguity adds layers of tension and intrigue, keeping viewers riveted. Every interaction between Phyllis and Kane is loaded with suspicion, tension, and the possibility of hidden motives. Their history, filled with moments of trust, deception, and fleeting connection, intensifies the drama, making every scene unpredictable. The fallout from the AI disaster is multifaceted. Phyllis's professional credibility is at risk, her personal relationships are strained, and the competitive environment of Genoa City tech and business is more dangerous than ever. The mysterious ally revealed by Kane could hold the key to either salvaging the project or deepening the crisis. If Phyllis can navigate the treachery and uncover the identity of the insider, she may have a chance to not only restore her reputation but also exact a measure of revenge against those who sought to undermine her. The stakes are not just about business. This storyline delves into trust, betrayal, and the lengths individuals will go to achieve power. Phyllis's determination, intelligence, and resilience are tested like never before, while Kane's ambiguous role keeps the audience guessing. Every alliance is suspect, every decision carries weight, and every revelation could turn friends into enemies and vice versa. As the weeks unfold, viewers can expect a series of tense confrontations, strategic maneuvers, and shocking twists. Phyllis's path to recovery will be anything but straightforward, and the role Kane plays will be pivotal in shaping the outcome. Whether as protector or betrayer, his influence will affect not only Phyllis's fate but also the broader balance of power in Genoa City. Ultimately, this saga is about survival, intelligence, and the art of navigating betrayal in a city where loyalty is fleeting and power is everything. Phyllis Summers has faced countless challenges in her life, but the collapse of her AI project and the exposure of Kane's mysterious ally may be among her most significant tests yet. One thing is certain, Phyllis is far from finished. She will fight back, strategize, and uncover the truth behind the sabotage. And when she does, Genoa City will witness a confrontation filled with tension, revelation, and the dramatic twists that make The Young and the Restless a powerhouse of daytime intrigue. The next chapters promise explosive drama, shocking betrayals, and possibly the emergence of alliances that could reshape the power dynamics in Genoa City forever. Phyllis Summers may be reeling now, but her comeback is inevitable, and Kane Ashby's true intentions will finally be revealed in a showdown that no fan will want to miss. Kane Ashby's Nobody's Fool. Genoa City has long been a city of secrets, schemes, and shifting loyalties, and few understand this better than Kane Ashby. The man who has walked the fine line between hero and schemer, confidant and manipulator, is once again at the center of intrigue that threatens to shake the very foundations of the city. Kane Ashby's latest maneuvers are a testament to his resilience. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Intelligence, and street-smart instincts, proving beyond doubt that Kane Ashby is nobody's fool. In a world where trust is currency and betrayal is a common pastime, Kane continues to navigate a maze of deception with his characteristic blend of charm, cunning, and calculated risk. Kane's journey in Genoa City has been anything but simple. From his earliest days, he has been embroiled in complex family dynamics, business rivalries, and romantic entanglements that tested his loyalty and judgment. His relationship with Lily Winters introduced him to love, heartbreak, and moral complexity, while his connections with Victoria Newman, Phyllis Summers, and other influential players in the city forced him to continually adapt, strategize, and survive. Over the years, Kane has been portrayed as a man capable of both deep compassion and ruthless pragmatism, a rare combination that has allowed him to maneuver through treacherous situations with an almost uncanny precision. Recently, Kane's intelligence and strategic mind have been on full display in the midst of corporate chaos surrounding Phyllis Summers' AI project. As the launch of Phyllis's ambitious software ended in disaster, rumors began to circulate that Kane might have been involved in the behind-the-scenes sabotage. While some speculated that he was manipulating events for personal gain, a closer look reveals a more nuanced story. Kane has always operated with foresight, calculating risks and outcomes to ensure his survival in a city where missteps can be deadly. In the AI debacle, Kane's involvement may have been motivated less by self-interest and more by a desire to navigate a dangerous corporate battlefield without losing leverage. Kane's approach to Genoa City's high-stakes environment is emblematic of his broader character. He is never impulsive. Every move is deliberate, designed to maximize advantage while minimizing exposure. Whether negotiating deals, managing sensitive family relationships, or countering adversaries, Kane has consistently demonstrated that he is a man who thinks several steps ahead. This strategic acumen has allowed him to survive betrayals, scandals, and near disasters that would have destroyed others. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Kane combines intelligence with instinct, allowing him to read situations, anticipate moves, and respond with agility. Despite his past mistakes, Kane has shown remarkable growth. Gone are the days when he relied solely on charm and impulsive decisions to navigate his world. Today, Kane's influence stems from his ability to blend emotional intelligence with strategic foresight. He understands people, their motives, and the hidden agendas that drive their actions. This skill has proven invaluable, particularly in the aftermath of corporate chaos, where alliances can shift overnight and reputations are fragile. Kane's capacity to remain composed under pressure, assess threats objectively, and make decisive moves positions him as a pivotal player in Genoa City's ever-evolving drama. Kane's interactions with Phyllis Summers exemplify his sophisticated approach to alliances and negotiation. While their relationship has been marked by moments of tension, suspicion, and unspoken chemistry, Kane has consistently demonstrated that he can navigate complex interpersonal dynamics with precision. In the wake of the AI software failure, his involvement, whether perceived as protective or manipulative, underscores his ability to influence outcomes without exposing himself to unnecessary risk. Kane's actions suggest a deep understanding of both the technical and human factors at play, allowing him to operate effectively in a volatile environment. Beyond corporate intrigue, Kane's strength lies in his adaptability. Genoa City is a city where loyalties are fluid, circumstances change rapidly, and power dynamics are constantly in flux. Kane has shown an exceptional ability to adjust to new information, reevaluate strategies, and pivot when necessary. This adaptability is complemented by his moral compass, which, while occasionally flexible, provides a guiding framework that helps him navigate ethical dilemmas. Kane's decisions often balance pragmatism with principle, ensuring that he remains influential while maintaining a sense of integrity that sets him apart from more unscrupulous players. Kane's reputation as "nobody's fool" is further cemented by his handling of personal relationships. Whether dealing with family conflicts, romantic entanglements, or friendships, Kane demonstrates a keen understanding of human behavior. He is perceptive, patient, and strategic, often allowing events to unfold while observing and gathering information before making decisive moves. This patience and insight enable him to anticipate potential betrayals, respond to threats effectively, and maintain an upper hand in emotionally charged situations. His ability to balance empathy with strategic thinking makes him a formidable force in Genoa City's social and corporate arenas. The recent turmoil surrounding Phyllis's AI project also highlights Kane's ability to navigate uncertainty and leverage opportunity. In a scenario where trust is scarce and stakes are high, Kane has shown that he can act decisively, protect key interests, and position himself advantageously. His involvement in the unfolding drama demonstrates not only his tactical skill but also his capacity to influence events without overtly revealing his hand. By remaining calm, calculating, and observant, Kane ensures that he can respond to developments in a way that maximizes outcomes while minimizing personal risk. Kane's influence extends beyond immediate crises. His understanding of Genoa City's social and corporate networks allows him to anticipate the ripple effects of major events, such as corporate sabotage or public scandal. He recognizes that information is power and that timing is critical. By managing information flow, leveraging relationships, and anticipating the moves of others, Kane consistently demonstrates that he is capable of shaping outcomes in a city where control is often fleeting. His foresight and strategic planning ensure that he remains a key player, capable of influencing events at multiple levels simultaneously. Furthermore, Kane's character is defined by resilience. In a city where personal and professional setbacks are inevitable, he has repeatedly demonstrated the ability to recover, adapt, and thrive. Whether facing public humiliation, betrayal by close allies, or corporate "please subscribe and like the video before continuing" adversity, Kane combines intelligence, patience, and strategic action to regain footing and assert influence. This resilience, coupled with his tactical acumen, ensures that Kane remains a formidable presence in Genoa City, respected by allies and feared by adversaries. Kane's role in Genoa City also underscores the importance of discernment and emotional intelligence. He understands that decisions are rarely made in isolation and that human factors, such as trust, motivation, and perception, can significantly influence outcomes. By carefully observing behavior, interpreting motives, and anticipating reactions, Kane is able to navigate complex scenarios effectively. His ability to balance rational analysis with intuitive insight allows him to make decisions that are both strategically sound and contextually appropriate. In addition, Kane's network of allies and contacts strengthens his position. Over the years, he has cultivated relationships with key players across business, social, and family spheres. These connections provide him with information, support, and leverage that are invaluable in navigating Genoa City's intricate web of power and influence. Kane's ability to maintain and utilize these relationships strategically further reinforces his reputation as a man who is nobody's fool, capable of orchestrating moves that others may not anticipate or understand until it is too late. Kane's legacy in Genoa City is one of intelligence, strategic insight, and resilience. His actions consistently demonstrate a sophisticated understanding of human behavior, corporate dynamics, and the interplay between personal and professional spheres. In every challenge, whether it involves corporate sabotage, family conflict, or romantic complexity, Kane leverages his skills to navigate uncertainty, mitigate risk, and achieve favorable outcomes. His ability to remain composed under pressure, anticipate the moves of others, and act decisively ensures that he is a central figure in the cities. Ultimately, Kane Ashby's story is one of survival, strategy, and influence. He has faced betrayal, scandal, and adversity, yet consistently emerges as a figure of strength, intelligence, and calculated action. His reputation as nobody's fool is well-earned, reflecting a lifetime of learning, adaptation, and strategic thinking. Whether confronting corporate crises, navigating complex personal relationships, or maneuvering through the ever-shifting landscape of Genoa City, Kane Ashby proves time and again that he is a man capable of seeing opportunities where others see obstacles, and of turning challenges into advantages. As Genoa City continues to evolve, Kane's presence remains pivotal. His ability to anticipate, influence, and act strategically ensures that he will continue to be a central player in the city's ongoing narrative of ambition, betrayal, and intrigue. In a world where few can be trusted and even fewer succeed, Kane Ashby stands as a testament to intelligence, resilience, and the art of never being anyone's fool.